Hello, this is Robyn from Heart Guided Intuition, and here's a general reading for Saturday, April 11th, 2020. It's just a general reading, so it might not apply to everybody, but hopefully it will be helpful to someone, somehow, okay? If you'd like a private reading, please feel free to visit my website at www.heartguidedintuition.com. Okay, I'll put the link down below. Okay, so I hope everyone is safe and well, and I want to wish those of you who celebrate Easter or Passover a very happy holiday. Okay, it's a very sacred week to many people. Okay, so I've already shuffled the cards and chosen them, but I haven't looked at them yet, so here goes. Let's see what the guidance is for Saturday, April 11th. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Give me just a minute, because sometimes I take time to tune into the cards and see what the overall message is. And it's interesting when some of the cards, they're very different, and I do them in pairs. I use a combination of tarot, spirit card decks, and then two different types of oracle cards to kind of give an extra guidance to the reading. So this has to do with okay. There's something that you're doing to make a living. This isn't a business reading. This is about something you're doing to keep your home going, to keep I know we're in extraordinary times right now. This is something you're doing, someone's doing. This is about keeping prosperity coming into our homes, keeping enough food on the table, keeping things going, and what we're doing in order to bring that in. The Two of Cups came up, so this could mean either being in partnership and having somebody in your household who you guys are responsible for bringing in, the bread, for bringing in, being the breadwinners, for keeping things going, for keeping food on the table, for keeping the shelves stocked with things that you need, with items that you need. It's about knowing that you have enough, knowing how are you going to go about it. How do you go about, especially if your job has been cut or you're, financially things are more difficult for you now. I think this reading is geared toward people who are having to pare back quite a bit because their jobs have been, not eliminated maybe, but you're not working, you're staying at home. This is geared toward those people who are staying at home and making do with what you have and finding it within yourself, finding that strength within yourself to have what you need, to be resourceful with what you have and to make it work, to make it last, and to find out how to bring in more. Okay, let me continue to this is somebody I feel this reading is geared toward those who have lost their income. Whether it's temporary or permanent, whether your job was lost or it's just a temporary thing while we're all going through this worldwide crisis. Now, you're someone who, home has always been something. Maybe you were really good at bringing in the prosperity, bringing in the money, keeping a really beautiful home, being very comfortable. And suddenly that was taken away. Suddenly that was, that life was altered for every single one of us in recent weeks. So it's about not identifying with that loss. How do I say this? Okay. For a lot of people, their jobs make up a significant portion of their identity. It's a common question when you meet somebody new that they say, "What do you do for a living?" Right? They don't say, "What lights you up? What are your passions? What are the books? What's your favorite book? What's your favorite color? What do you love doing?" The common question with people is always, "What do you do for a living?" And when suddenly that is taken away, the job is taken away, and you're at home. And yes, of course, there is a prosperity issue. How am I going to keep bread on the table? How am I going to get what I need? How am I going to afford to live the way I'm used to living? Because this is a card, the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this shows a woman who is self-made, and it could be male or female. The tarot cards are interchangeable, whatever gender. This can apply to any gender, okay? But the card shows a woman in a garden that is plentiful with nine, pentacles or coins, and she is prosperous. She is happy. She's in a beautiful surroundings. She's affluent. She's like really, she's in her glory because she's confident. She's not worried about anything. There's no lack here whatsoever. There's abundance here. Everything she needs, she has. And she doesn't have to worry. And she's worked very hard for it. But that's coming up with this card. This is a very, very difficult card in the Spirit deck. It's the Survivor card. It's a card of someone who's been through tremendous hardship. So it's being paired up, with this amazingly abundant card of beauty and joy and luxury, with the Survivor card, the loss, the grief. So I feel like this reading is really geared toward somebody who's, their work has been pared down. Your finances have been, cut back. You've had to budget. You're being very careful. Maybe you've got some savings, maybe not. I tend to think you probably do have some savings, but you'd rather not dip into it. This reading goes deeper than the material. This reading is about not identifying yourself with what's been lost from your life. Okay? You are not your job. Maybe you're someone who has worked all your life in one field and you're extremely good at it. Maybe you even enjoy it. You love it. Maybe you're high up in your company. You're very good at it. Or maybe it's all you've known. Maybe you graduated college and this is all you've known. You've been doing it since you graduated, and I don't know, you're in your 50s or 60s or something. This reading is for someone who's very identified with the job they've been doing, and yet that job has temporarily been kind of taken away. Maybe you're working from home or maybe not. Either way, I tend to feel like it's someone whose finances have been diminished quite a bit. and you're not sure what to do with yourself. And maybe you're feeling a sense of lack about who you are, and a sense of lack about your sense of purpose in the world. What are you even doing here? Why even bother? And what I want to say to you is that you are not your job. I know that that sounds so simplistic. I mean, this is a time when a lot of the people who are writing about what we can do during this time of quarantine and how we can get through it are saying, turn to the things you love to do. Turn to the things you always wanted to do, the projects that you've put on hold, saying, oh, one day I'll get to this. Maybe you don't know what those are. What I say to you is, explore. Explore. Okay. What I say to you is, this is about learning not only a new way of life, but this is about learning about yourself and what you truly want. Okay? What makes your heart sing? What drives your spirit and lights you up? There is the Two of Pentacles here, which can be a choice. It can also mean juggling two different things. Okay, but it's a two. It's two. It's a decision. It's a choice. And it's a difficult choice. He's not sure, he's juggling two different pentacles. This card that it came up with, paired with, is the learning card. It's the student card. Learn something new. Learn what you want to be doing. Learn something new. There are free classes being given from Harvard and Yale online in a variety of topics. There is so much there. There's a lot on YouTube. You can learn a new language. You can learn a new skill. Whatever it is calls to you, try your best. It's very important not to identify ourselves with a job, work, career. It's important to take pride in your work and to do a good job and to be proud of what you've done and your accomplishments. However, it's possible to get tied to those accomplishments and linked to them to the point of where you begin to confuse the accomplishments with your identity and your self-worth. And that simply it's very detrimental to who you are and to what your truth is. Because maybe you've never had a chance to truly explore who you are. Maybe you're being given an opportunity right now to, when there's a void, there's got to be something to fill the void. And I feel like this is for someone who's really grieving the loss of their job, which was their identity. Okay? It's really important. Try, if this applies to you, if this reading is speaking to you, please try your best, do your best to tune into yourself. Even thinking of yourself as a child. What did you want to do when you were young? What did you dream about doing? What sparks your interest? Even if you sit down, if you've got all the time in the world right now, and you sit down and watch YouTube videos, or do a Google search, do an online search for something. Something always leads to something. They call it the internet for a reason. It's a net. It's connecting. One thing connects to another. If you just pick one thing, start with one thing that sparks your interest, and then there's something in that, wow, that's leading to a link to something else. That's leading to a link to something else. There are trainings available online. There are things to learn for free. There are things, the world, you can see the world online. You can go to art museums or museums around the world. A lot of them offer virtual tours, or if you're interested in art or some kind of any kind of museums, there's a lot available to you. It's a matter of knowing that you are not lost. A situation was lost, and that's different. The situation was not you. You are not a set of circumstances. You are a precious, beautiful, amazing human being with tremendous potential to do almost anything you want. And I say almost because we all have different limitations and different abilities, different skills. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. For instance, I am terrible at math. No matter how hard I try to do it, I have difficulty understanding it, but I can paint. Okay? Maybe you're someone who lost your job temporarily and you're feeling at a tremendous loss in your life, this great void. That job was not you. What do you bring to the world? What are your traits? What are your personality traits? What are you geared towards? There are online personality tests, which are fun. I find them fun to take. There are also online astrology readings. Astro.com, for instance, gives free personality profiles. There are tons of things to learn more about yourself. There's something called BeliefNet, a website where you can figure out if you're spiritually inclined, you can take a test with all sorts of questions, BeliefNet, and they will tell you which religion you are closest to in your belief system and which one you are least like. Okay? There's tons where these things, I'm not telling you about them to tell you to fill your time. That's one purpose they serve. But another purpose they serve is to show you you. Whatever you choose is a reflection of you. Whatever you choose to put your focus on and to spend your time doing is a reflection of who you are and what's important to you and what your values are. Okay? Whatever you choose, every choice in our lives, every choice we each make, every single one of us, every choice we make tells us something about us, shows us who we are. So that's my suggestion and guidance for you with this reading, is if you're feeling totally lost right now, find out who you are. If you don't know how to go about that, I just named some things that, depending on what your choices are and what you decide to look into, you can go online. I'm sure there are tons of other things. Do you want to read articles on certain topics? Like I mentioned, learning different things, taking lessons in something. Whatever it is you're interested in, learning how to build something. It's endless. There's a whole world out there, and we have access. We are so lucky here where we live. If you're in America or the Western world, we pretty much have access to anything at our fingertips. Do you want to learn how to cook? Whatever, I know there are countries that don't allow their citizens full access to the internet. We have access. We do. I am totally grateful for that. Completely grateful. It's one of the many, 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 many things I am grateful for. Being in a place of gratitude will also help you to find what is important to you. Do you want to learn about birds? Do you want to learn about forestry? Do you want to learn about the medicinal qualities of mushrooms? There are online courses. There are free YouTube videos on how to do all of this. Okay? Tarot card readings. There are instructional videos on how to do pretty much anything you could probably want to do. So we're very, very fortunate. Now, there are 2 guidance cards that came up with this reading. And I do want to just reiterate that whatever choice you make will show you who you are and what your values are, and who you are, what's important to you, where you decide to focus your energy. And that's going to be the key to getting you through this time, okay? It's not merely finding distractions to make the time pass faster. It's about learning about who you are, because this time, for the ones that this reading is resonating with, is an opportunity for you to know yourself and to stop identifying with the job that you did. Even if it's a career that you've held all your life, it's an opportunity to know yourself on a much deeper level. Okay? Now, turquoise. It says awaken your empathy, and I know that the cards are in reverse. Awaken your empathy, but this blue, that is such a healing. This, to me, reminds me of a pool of water. Beautiful, clear, beautiful water, or the kind of water that is in tropical areas of the world. And it's swirling, and it's just that crystal clear blue aqua color water. There's a cleansing, there's a clearing going on here, but a clearing also becoming clear here with who you are, and knowing yourself on a much deeper level than you ever have before. Okay? And this is dignity. This is from the unicorn oracle card deck. I actually kind of laughed when I read unicorn oracle card deck. But I'm not someone who really believes in unicorns, but it's a beautiful deck of cards. So this is about this says dignity on it, okay? And what it says is hold your head up high and know that higher power is supporting you. Whatever you believe your higher power is, you are supported. Hold your head up high, which means have dignity. Do not diminish your self-worth because the job, the career is temporarily on hold or has been removed for the time being. Do not diminish your self-worth. Do not think that you are worth any less. You are incredibly important. You are so important, and you have skills and abilities that you haven't discovered yet. And you're about to discover if you allow it, if you allow this beautiful, clear, and it's also calming, allowing your thoughts and your heart to just kind of calm down and soothe, be soothed, okay? Allow yourself to feel calm so that you can think more clearly and say, I would like to explore this or this or this. It just means taking the first step toward learning something new, looking into something new. And every choice you make is going to tell you something about yourself. Dignity. Hold your head up high through this time and know that your self-worth is intact fully as a human being with gifts, skills, and abilities, many of which you already know, and some of which you have not yet discovered. I don't care how old you are. There's always more to learn. And there's always more to learn about ourselves deep inside. Okay? Have faith. Okay? And whoever this resonates with, I believe in you. Okay? Peace, love, and blessings to all of you. Be safe and be well.